Wow. That's a wow. That's what it's supposed to be like in here.
Mark, what's changed for your team in the last couple of weeks? Because obviously since the South Dakota loss last time we saw you here, you played really well.
Well, I don't know what's changed. It's what has transpired is they've found another gear to play, to how to play. They're playing 4 quarters of football. They're playing with a lot of pride as a group, and I think after you think about it here, I think that's been the biggest change. Is you play the game and you play the team and all that stuff, but I think when you really reach deep to win these kind of games, you really got to reach deep, and there's got to be a pride factor of who you're playing with, who you're playing for, and a bigger version of what this game's about. And I think they found that bigger version.
How big of a challenge was this for your defense today? Because, I mean, they had you on the heels the first half, and then you locked in there at the end and got the win.
Man, they were an excellent football team, and just they've been scoring tons of points on people. It's a well conceptual scheme of what they're doing offensively, and they had us reeling a little bit in the first half, but it was key to get in at halftime with those 3 points that we got and stay within 7. And that was a big win at the time, because we had to get to the locker room to make some adjustments to get back out there and do what we did. And we made adjustments on offense and defense that I thought were tremendous adjustments, and it made the difference in the game of how we played in the second half.
And your offense came out with incredible rhythm in the third quarter.
They did, and that's where, you know, that was kind of what we went into this whole thing, is that even though last week was a big win and a big deal, it was to find another gear this week to take your game to another level. And that's really what we were saying in that third quarter and even at halftime, was this is what we talked about all week. This is the gear you need to step up to and find another level, because it's the second half, and with this football team, we knew it was going to go to the end.
Control the offensive line of scrimmage in the third quarter, and picking up that many yards on the ground against that team.
Well, it was, and what we did in the second half, honestly, we came out and we said we couldn't establish the run in the first half, and thus we were, as I say, guessing a little bit, trying to make passes happen. And when you establish a run game, you really establish who you are. And we went out in the second half wanting to establish that run game, so we got in 12 personnel, which is the big guys, and just started pounding it with the big back, and ultimately that's really what wore them down and took a lot of the clock up. So it was a huge part of what the offensive line did, and our tight ends and execution by offense.
What did you think of that last series, their last 4 plays when they're thrown into the end zone? What did you think of your team's performance at that point?
Tremendous, because actually we had prepared for that, because they have been in 2 overtime games already, and they have made drives like that against South Dakota State, Western Illinois. Everybody they played, they've made that last drive. So we knew the quarterback was going to find a way to rally his group, and they keep throwing that back shoulder fade in this corner, and that was kind of their MO. So we went into the defense, really that was designed to take away what those last 4 plays were, and our guys really executed. That was a young freshman that was making plays over in the corner, because we had lost Omar early in the game, and we put the redshirt freshman out there, and they had their best receiver throwing back shoulder on him the last 4 plays, and he stood the test and made great plays.
Talk about the attitude of your defense. I talked with a couple of guys. They said they wanted to be on the field at the end.
They did. They went by me when they went out in the last field and said this is what they want. They want to be that last drive, and I would have liked the offense to finish them off, and I'd have to go through that, but ultimately it was, you know, guys, they just did what we asked them to do, and that was really fine. We were gassed last week at the end, and I felt we could have done better in the last drive, even though we won that game, and I knew we'd have to be better in this drive, and we were much better in this last drive of rushing the passer and making the plays in the secondary. So our coverage was excellent, but our rush was very good.
3 turnovers on downs. Is that a testament to, you mentioned your team just going and digging deeper and really taking pride in the way they're playing football right now?
That's where the pride factor is. You win games with, you know, you're good when you're good teams can win a few of those down. Pride wins the great games, and that was a great game, and that's really what defines a team in that type of game. Is you better have a lot of pride to pull that one out like we did and do it the way we did, because I went for it on 4th down on top of it and put our team in a tough position, and then we countered back and got a turnover back. So there was a lot of going back and forth out there, but that's how you got to win the big games.
Talk about Benny's play. I mean, that was huge.
Well, Benny has changed since, you know, Benny was excellent at the beginning of the season. Then he took those couple targetings, you know, and kind of got flustered a little bit. Really got disciplined again in his play, and that's why he's playing great again. He's getting to the ball, he's using his fundamentals, and that's been our focus, is not just to play hard, but to play with great fundamentals. But he is. He's a tremendous football player, and he plays hard every down, and he's back to what he was doing in the first half of the season.
What can you tell us about Omar and Justin?
Man, I know Omar, Justin Piney.
Yeah.
That one looked tough. I don't know that you'll see him again. That one looked tough, and ultimately, that hurt more than you know, because we were really rushing the ball good, and that replacement guard on that side is the same one that's still out from 3 weeks ago. So we had to move a tackle into guard, and that was more of a crucial injury at that time than probably what people realize it was. But Rope went in there and did a great job. Omar still had the injury back from last week, and he couldn't go. And it happened in that last series at South Dakota State. So he came out in the first half, and as did Isaiah Weston and Quan. Yeah. So, but the cool part about that, it's hard to not have those guys. But the cool part about that is we won that game in a critical situation, came from behind with all those guys playing that we talk about. Yes. Whether it was the guard, Quan's backup, Sergio. I mean, that's just a testament to those guys.
Was that Sam Schnee's first touchdown?
Second one. I think he got one last week at South Dakota State. Sam's good, man. Sam's always there. That's the guys you need, is the guys that maybe you don't know their name until they make a play. And it was Edwin Dearman last week, and this week it's Sam Schnee.
We talked a lot on Monday about special teams as a huge part of today's win.
It was. We've put a lot into special teams, and again, I think that's what this team is realizing, that's the phase of the game that you must win if you're going to win against teams like this. And this league is made up of teams like that. So that was just a great win, guys. You don't know how big that one was as compared to even last week was huge. But this is a good football team that always finished and was on a roll and knows how to win at the end of a football game. And that's why that last throw, it was a huge play. And like Wes said, it was a lot of stress in that last play, because I saw that kid make that play at the South Dakota State game, that same throw, that same catch, one-handed grab in the corner of the end zone. So it took a great play by our guy to make that. So
I think you got a little emotional and chippy at the beginning, and did you guys maintain your poise? I mean, the young squad.
Yeah, and that's been talked about, because they came out really trying to aggravate people, and that's where you got to be able to separate yourself from that, play your game. That's the focus part of the game. So that's what we missed. You go back to the South Dakota, we weren't locked in, we weren't focused, we weren't fundamentals. We were just playing football instead of playing the game as a team and what you need to do to win. That's what's really changed, is how they're playing the game, not just who's playing the game.
I feel like you almost, it's going to sound a little crazy, but you almost needed that loss to USD to ultimately turn around and have these two big wins.
Well, you never need a loss. But honestly, guys, it humbled you, because it's kind of like one of those things like, are you kidding me? And when the players can see that on Sunday, then they take a lot of, that pride factor comes up again. They got to take a lot of pride in their play, because that pride of that execution wasn't very good that day. And you either turn it and get better, or you don't. And right now they have turned it and gotten better. So couldn't be more happy with it. They're lined up right now and doing very, very well, and playing as a unit, playing as a team.
Kyle Fortenberry had his first 2 receptions of the season so far today, one for that touchdown. Feel confident going to him, even though he hasn't had a whole lot of touches?
Kyle Fountainberry, the thing about Kyle Fountainberry is a lot of these guys, whether it's Edwin Dearman, Sam Schnee, he waited his time, he waited his opportunity, and when your opportunity shows up, that's when you got to make a play. Otherwise, and you'll get more opportunities. And last week, he was making plays last week, even though they were blocking and things like that, which gave him the start this week. And then ultimately played the whole second half and made the difference in the game on the touchdown down there. So Sam Schnee and Kyle Fountainberry were the difference as far as making plays and scores anyway.
How do you keep it going?
Enjoy this one tonight, and then watch film tomorrow, and see what our team looks like tomorrow, and get them ready for next Saturday. So it's a simple plan. It's just got to get them ready again. So everybody else good? Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Where's your staff,
Jared, just take us through that final drive for Southern Illinois. guys telling each other that, to try to stop an offense and move the ball?
Yeah, that they have one of the best offenses in the country. You turn on the film every week and they're scoring 35 points on good teams. So, we knew as a defense, we had to play together. It's as easy as that. When we had some guys go down during the game, the next guys came in, they stepped up big time. So it was really just a team win. Games like this, you're going to have to go to the some of the twos and stuff like that, and we prepare them during the week for moments like these, and we just, as a defense, I can't be more proud of that unit.
Coach Farley said you guys wanted to have that last chance to stop that last drive. How much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, there's nothing better than putting the defense on the field last drive of the game. We believe in ourselves. We know that we play good. We can stop anyone, and we knew we weren't giving up that point. We've been in games like that they haven't gone our way, and that it's just not the mentality of the team right now. We know what we can do, and we just play for each other. It's simple as that.
Last time we saw you here was one of those games where you didn't play particularly well, but the last 2 weeks, just something has, I guess, changed. How much ownership did you take in what happened 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, in this conference, anyone can beat you, and South Dakota played a good game against us, and we didn't step up to the challenge. So these last 2 weeks, it's been, win or go home mentality in the locker room, and the team's coming together, and we're playing how we know we can play, and there's a lot of room to grow in that. We can play better, so it's very exciting moving forward.
If I'm not mistaken, you were the one who had the deflection on Caden's
Yep,
section.
I did.
Is that like chalk one up for the sub 6 foot tall?
Yeah, hey, that's my first PBU, so I'm really happy about that. I didn't know if I'd be getting that ever in my career, but I love it. That QB wasn't the tallest, and I'm not either, so it worked out.
Leading tackler of this defense today too. That how as a unit, you guys have just stepped up to the challenge and stuff like that. But then to see the freshmen come in too, like you mentioned, the last stop there at the game. Just talk a bit about how those underclassmen are excelling here too.
Yeah, it's been this way since my freshman year. People have to step up late in the season, and we trust them. We take a lot of reps in practice and stuff like that to get them ready, and we know we aren't going to play with the same team that we started the season with. That's unrealistic in a game like this. So, but just preparing them every week, and we trust the young guys, and they are doing amazing out there. They're earning our trust, they're earning the coaches' trust. They're showing they can play with anyone, and it's just really fun to see. I was in that situation once, and young guys, they got to step up, and they did today.
You mentioned that winner go home attitude. Just you're in a good position right now in the standings. What's the ceiling of this team? How high can it go?
That's we don't know yet. The sky's the limit, so we just got to keep pushing every week. Keep the moral of the team up, which it's doing pretty good right now. But it's on us. That's as simple as it gets. It's on us. How bad do we want it? And I think we got the group of guys that who knows how far we can take this team.
What was the locker room like after the
it was a pretty fun time. Farley was getting into it, so when he's jumping up dancing, it's a good day, and it's probably going to be a good couple days after this. But no, we got a lot of big games still coming up, and we just know we can't take our foot off the gas, or we can easily fall. So just keeping up this win or go home mentality like we're in the playoffs, and good things are going to happen.
Thank you, Darren.
Yep.
We'll swap you out.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, fire away your question.
Broderick like that was definitely the most touches you've had so far here at UNI. I was kind of hoping I'd see a little Zeke feed me there. Why didn't we get that?
Oh man, I used to do it a lot, but I was trying to get in the rhythm. But next game maybe I'm gonna start that up, back up for you.
Ladrick, what did you guys talk about at halftime? Coach Farley mentioned adjustments were made, and obviously that third quarter was really productive.
Yes, sir. We just wanted to come out and run the ball more. In the first quarter, we felt like it was working, and we just, we wanted to get back to it. And he leaned on the running back group, so he called us out, and we tried to do it.
Elliot mentioned your workload. Are you feeling it physically, or you feel fine?
I feel fine. I feel fine going in. I made it out good this game, so it's huge. A lot of guys, just can't take this game for granted. Anything can happen. So this game, I made it out pretty fine.
Caden, what was the conversation like this week when it came to playing against this SIU offense that has such a dynamic quarterback that can extend plays?
Number 8's competitor. He took over games, multiple games, SDSU, Western Illinois in the last 2 minutes. So we knew they had a good hurry-up offense, and we were just trying to shut that down.
Take us through the interception. I mean, it seemed like you kind of got twisted around. I mean, did you expect Jared, of all people, was going to get a PBU?
No, I did not. He got that, and I was just at the right place at the right time, so all credit goes to him.
Have you ever had 2 turnovers in the same game before?
No, that's a first. That's a first.
Anyone else? All right. You guys are free?
Thank y'all.
It was easy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Congrats
Thank
on
you.
the win.
Thank you.